Hi, my name is Alex. Welcome to Youth Affirming Youth. So, this month's topic is coming out, and since I post on the first Tuesday of every month, I'm the first person to weigh in. So in this video, I'm going to be covering three things. 1, how coming out went for me. 2, what I would do differently if I had to come out again. Lastly, I'll give you some tips to make coming out easier for you. So, what was coming out like for me? Actually, I came out twice. And in the next section, I'll cover why I would do that differently if I had to do it again. But first, I came out last year in March, that would be 2015, as lesbian. At the time, I had not come out as trans yet, and everybody knew me as female, and I definitely knew that I like girls, and so for me, I think coming out through my sexuality first felt like an easier icebreaker with my parents instead of saying, hey, you're actually raising a son. But that only lasted about a month and a half because I got this very unsettling feeling that I couldn't live with. I felt like I was being unauthentic and dishonest, and I didn't want to live that way. I couldn't live that way. And so I eventually, like I said, after about a month and a half, I came out first to my mom as being trans, and that I identified as a heterosexual male instead of a lesbian. So now I want to talk a little bit about what I would do differently if I had to come out all over again. First of all, I would only come out once. And that sounds weird, and this doesn't work for everybody. Some people go on a journey, they come out as something first, and then as they discover who they are as people, and they grow and learn more about themselves, they realize that while that label fit them best at that time, that it no longer fits them, and they have to come out again, which I totally understand. That wasn't the case for me. I knew when I came out the first time that I was trans, but I came out as something else because I felt like it was easier. And if I had to come out again, I would not do that. I would come out just as trans. The reason being that I had the stress of coming out twice, because for me coming out was very stressful. I think it probably is for a lot of people. But I felt like it would have been easier looking back if I had just come out once and gotten over it the first time instead of prolonging that extra month and a half. Okay, so here are some tips from me to make coming out easier, because let's face it, we live in a very heteronormative, very gender set world, and coming out anywhere on the LGBT spectrum, whether it be the gender spectrum or the sexuality spectrum, can be very difficult and stressful, and not everybody feels comfortable doing it. So here are some tips. First of all, I would come out from a position of love and respect. Sit down, whoever you're going to talk to, and just be loving. Be open and honest with them, like you want to be. Do it warmly. If you start to feel some pushback, or they're yelling at you, or they're getting angry, try to remain calm as long as you can. By showing that you keep a level head, and that you're being honest, and that you're willing to love them, and showing that you're willing to be patient and show love toward them, and asking for patience and love in return, definitely makes them more receptive. Something that made my coming out a lot easier was my involvement in my community in school. So before I came out, I was involved in a lot of school activities. I did a lot of community service, not to prove myself, but because I wanted to have a good image in people's minds, to show after I came out that, look, I'm trans, but here's what I've done for my community, here's what I've done for my school. We are just like everybody else. We can be awesome people. We're humans too. We want to support other people, and we'd like them to support us too. I think another big thing to realize, perhaps another tip, is realize that you will forever be coming out. It's part of the world we live in, is that once you realize you're LGBT, you've got to live with that. And you've got to live with coming out. So you may come out to your parents first, or you may come out to a friend first, or another family member. But initially, you'll be coming out to a lot of people, and that can be stressful, and that can be a lot to deal with. But once the initial wave of comings out happens, you're still going to be dealing with that. Especially for me, I can relate to that being a trans person that passes very well in society. If I'm going to a new doctor or a new dentist, or applying for a credit card, or anything before I get my name changed, I present very masculinely. I pass as a male, but my birth certificate still has a feminine name, and my birth certificate still has an F on it. So that's something you have to explain. Another thing I want to mention is that you don't need to feel like you owe anybody anything. I know for me especially, I felt like I was being very disingenuous with people before I came out, because there were people that I loved and I trusted and respected and I wanted to be open and real with, and just couldn't because I didn't feel safe yet. And I think it's important to realize that you're not being dishonest. You're not cheating them out of anything. What you have to say is yours to say. And when you're ready to say it, you go ahead and say it. Until then, don't feel bad about it. The final thing I want to mention is in coming out, sometimes it can be really hard to look at other people, especially on YouTube, who have already come out and are in really happy, good places. And maybe you're not in a happy, good place yet. And sometimes it can be really frustrating to see those people. You envy them. You're jealous. You wish that you had already come out, or you wish that you were over that. But I think it's important to look to those people for inspiration and realize that, hey, life gets better today. Hey, if you'd like to check out the video I did last month, that will be below. Also, recently, I was the community moment speaker. I had a group called Kansas City Oasis. If you'd like to watch that talk, that will also be below. Have a great month, and thanks for watching.